Hi, in this video I'll help you get to know your car a little better. At the end of this video I've put together a straightforward infographic that summarizes all the key points. Like, subscribe and comment below. It really helps.
All right, let's just dive right in. We have all been there. You're driving, minding your own business, and then, bam, that little light pops up on the dash. You know the one. The one that can take a perfectly good day and fill it with dread. Oh yeah, the check engine light. It's basically the universal symbol for, uh-oh, this is going to be a headache, and it's probably going to cost me. But what if it didn't have to be that way? What if it's just your car trying to tell you something really specific? Because with a code like P0301, that's exactly what's happening. Your car is sending you a direct message. And the best part? It's one of the most common codes out there, which means it's usually pretty straightforward to solve. So we're going to break this all down step by step and turn that stress into confidence. Okay, so first things first, we got to learn to speak the language. That code, P0301, isn't just a bunch of random numbers and letters. Nope, it's a precise message sent straight from your car's main computer.
So what's P0301 actually saying? It's surprisingly simple. The computer has detected a misfire, and it knows it's happening in cylinder number 1. Think of it like this. Your engine cylinders are a team of rowers in a boat, all pulling together in perfect rhythm. A P0301 code means the first rower just stopped rowing, and now the whole boat is jerky, inefficient, and just feels off.
And you can actually feel that one rower slacking off. It shows up in ways you'll definitely notice. Maybe your car is shaking and rattling when you're stopped at a red light, or you go to step on the gas and it kind of hesitates or stumbles. You'll for sure notice you're filling up the tank way more often. You might even catch a whiff of gasoline from the exhaust. See? Those aren't separate problems. They're all symptoms of that one cylinder not firing right. All right, we get what the code means. We know what it feels like. Now for the fun part. Let's play detective. We're going to do a little investigation to find the culprit.
Now, before you grab a single tool, you have to answer the most important question of all. Where is cylinder number 1? This is absolutely critical because it's not always in the same spot. On a simple 4-cylinder engine, it's almost always the one closest to the belts at the front. But on a V6 or a V8, it gets a little more complicated. Seriously, a quick Google search for your car's make, model, and year is the most important first move you can make.
And here is our game plan, the DIY diagnostic funnel. The idea is brilliant in its simplicity. We start with the easiest and most likely fixes at the top, and we only move down if we have to. This is all about testing, not guessing, and that's why we kick things off with the ignition coil and the spark plug, because honestly, that's where the problem is most of the time.
This right here, this is the secret weapon for any DIYer. It's called the swap test. Here's how it works. You take the ignition coil from cylinder 1, our prime suspect, and you swap it with the coil from cylinder 2. Clear the codes, start the car, and go for a short drive. If that check engine light comes back on, but now it's a new code, P0302, well, congratulations, you just found the bad part. The problem followed the coil. It's 100% confirmation, and it didn't cost you a dime to figure it out.
So now that you know how to look, let's talk about what you're probably looking for. We've got a ton of data on this, so we can focus our investigation on the real usual suspects.
Just look at this. About 2/3 of the time, 65%, a P0301 is going to be caused by something in the ignition system, either the coil or the spark plug. That is exactly why we start there. It's just playing the odds. You focus on the high probability stuff first, and you can often have this whole thing solved in under an hour with a pretty cheap part.
Now, of course, every once in a while, the problem is something a little deeper. You could have a vacuum leak. Sometimes you can actually hear a hissing sound. Or it could be a more serious internal engine issue like low compression. These are less common for sure, but they do happen. Just remember, always rule out the easy stuff before you start worrying about this stuff. Okay, we've covered the what, the why, and the how. Now it's time to tackle the question that's probably on your mind right now. Is it okay for me to keep driving this thing?
And this is maybe the most important thing you need to hear today. Not all check engine lights mean the same thing. Think of it like a traffic signal. If the light is on and it's solid, that's a yellow light. It means caution. Get it checked out soon. But if that light is flashing or blinking, that is a big, bright red light. It means stop. That's your car's computer screaming at you that a really bad misfire is happening right now, and you risk doing some serious, expensive damage if you keep going. So what's the big deal? Why is a flashing light so much worse? Well, it all comes down to one single, very expensive part in your exhaust system.
See, when a cylinder misfires, it's not burning its fuel. So where does that raw fuel go? Straight into your hot exhaust system where it hits the catalytic converter. That unburned gas basically turns your converter into a blast furnace, superheating it and melting the precious metals inside. A new spark plug or coil? Maybe $50. A new catalytic converter? You're easily looking at $1,000, maybe more. That flashing light is your car's last-ditch effort to save you from that massive repair bill.
So let's wrap this all up into a simple action plan. Number 1, don't panic. Start with the easy, high-probability stuff like the coil and spark plug. Number 2, be a detective. Use that swap test to prove what's broken so you're not just throwing parts at it. And number 3, the big one, respect the light. A solid light means plan for a repair. A flashing light means pull over now.
You know, in the end, that check engine light isn't just there to give you anxiety. It's communication. It's your car telling you exactly where it hurts. And by following these simple, logical steps, you can go from being stressed out to feeling totally in control. So the real question is, now that you know how to understand it, are you ready to listen?